It's the moment you didn't know you're waiting for.
He is Carter.
He's Chad.
And this is the Irish 365 podcast.
Chad, this is Lou Holtz. That's head coach of Notre Dame for 11 years. Greatest experience of my life. They're starting the Notre Dame podcast this summer. I have a podcast as well, but it's not about Notre Dame football, although I wish there were. But congratulations on your success. And it would be nice if I could be on your podcast, but my schedule is so hectic. But anything that has to do with Notre Dame, I'm all for it. God bless you. Go Irish.
Welcome into the Irish 365 podcast, episode 33.
Larry Bird, the legend, 33.
Okay, I don't know why I'm bringing that up right now. I was going to go 33.
Indiana greatness.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to go 33 trucking because we're just trucking along in these playoffs.
Yeah,
How
but
about that?
I love 33 trucking.
Yeah.
I love the whole marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see another marketing campaign for Heisman in the near future.
Yep.
But 33 trucking lost steam.
Yeah.
Of course, he was a single back on the team that ran every ball, every play, and they could key on him. Not a problem with the 2024 rendition of the Irish. Soon to be 2025.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, it stinks thinking, man, we're not going to see this Notre Dame football team the rest of the year, huh?
It is. It is kind of a sad thought.
What do you think on that, Maddie? I mean, pretty sad that we're not going to see this team till next year.
That's only a couple days away, gentlemen.
I know. But we got to say it. Everyone at home's thinking it. We got to say it. But how good did that game feel? How awesome was that game? Taking down top 10 team in the postseason. First time in my life we won a postseason top 10 matchup.
At home.
And it was at home in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, it was glorious. Absolutely glorious. Now, I came into it with a different perspective than you did, Carter, because you're like, oh, big win, never. I still want to see us win a bowl game.
Oh, I know. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I know it was a top 10 win. It was postseason. I should be more excited.
I know.
But
and don't get me wrong, but I'm just excited because you've seen this in your lifetime.
I have.
I have not.
I know.
I've not seen a December big win in Notre Dame. December or January Notre Dame win, like big win in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little different for me. I mean, a lot of big losses for these big bowl games, and that wasn't one of them. I mean, I know it's a first round playoff game against an IU team that was daunted, but I was pumped. I mean, I know we were all pumped, but I know what you're saying. We definitely need. It'll be even more exciting when we beat Georgia on January 1st, right?
Yeah. I need to see this next round win. I need it bad. My soul needs that bad.
Yep.
But I enjoyed the heck out of this. Now, I come into this game with a little bit different feel.
Yep.
Probably than you did. I was a little more apathetic to the IU crowd. I'm like, I know you, different generation. Because I think IU's like, who cares? I mean, really, who cares?
Oh, no, I was not threatened by them whatsoever, but you can go on.
And I don't, until Saturday or Friday night, I didn't know an annoying IU football fan.
I know many.
Well, see, I hadn't had the opportunity or the displeasure of spending time with annoying IU football fans.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience from IU football, the one time I went to a game was with Jason Turney when he was at college there.
Yeah.
This was in the 90s when the Irish were rolling.
Yeah. And
we showed up, I don't know, somewhere in the second quarter and could pick our seat anywhere in the stadium we wanted because they were terrible.
Yeah.
So I've never had this, I don't know, they've played 4 top 10 teams in the history, or they've only won against the top 10 4 times in the history of the program, something ridiculously like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe only 4 matchups in top 10 or something like that.
I don't know if they've even won one, but it's definitely not a school we were threatened by, I don't think, me and Maddie were. No threat there. It was just like, all right.
Annoying fans.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just be done.
And I saw a lot on social media really Thursday, Friday. The social media stuff seemed to really ramp up from the IU people.
See, I think we're different on that one. We were seeing it for all 2 weeks.
They love social media.
Yeah,
that is one fan base that will post about their dusty banners any chance they get it. I can't.
Yep.
My hatred has been for a long time, and it was really good rubbing it in their face.
I'm going to say after Friday night, I feel it's a little justified.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fan base I'm not a fan of. A lot of people coming out of the woods, out of absolute nowhere. Oh, I've been an IU football fan.
I know, and we've always made fun of them. Like, they have one good year in basketball, and the I'm back shirts come flying out. Like, we're back. And it's like...
Calm it down.
You got a winning season going on. Let's do something with it.
I mean, I wish some of them best luck in basketball season, but I know it's not off to a hot start for them there either. So, I mean, I don't know what they've got. Maybe their tennis team's going to be real good.
Soccer's always good.
I mean, that was in the fall, though. That already happened. They didn't win.
That's true.
Vermont went on to win the whole thing. So, I mean, I don't know what they got going for them down there in Bloomington.
The women's basketball team was okay last year, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they graduated some people, though. So.
I know. So I'm trying to.
Hey,
find
that's
for
a
it.
win. They graduated.
Yep, I mean,
There you go.
good for them. Yeah,
All for the degrees.
yep.
So they got the little 5 coming up,
Oh, yeah.
and someone
Someone's got to win that.
from IU will win that.
Someone from IU's got to win that. So hang the banner.
That's right.
Little 500, champ again. I mean, props to them.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. IU's never lost a little 5.
And hey, I mean, but yes, the IU fan base. I would have thought they were Ohio State, the way they were talking, like they'd done something of relevant recently, because they were over the top annoying.
And I'm tired of that crap.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
But see, this is what I like, though.
I was
Like, Notre Dame was a very welcoming campus to visiting fans.
Yeah.
And I still think we were hospitable.
I was not.
I think overall.
I welcomed many to their first college football game.
I think, yeah.
I did. It's a welcome to your first college football game.
Yeah. I think it was really like the traditional Notre Dame. We're glad you're here, but we're going to kick your butt.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I saw ushers welcome to Notre Dame, but what I hadn't seen in a long time when we got on campus a couple hours early was just
Buzzing.
there was a buzz. There was something in the air, something like there was an excitement. I mean,
Yeah.
and it sounds like that excitement started at 8 a.m., 12 hours before kickoff.
Yeah, obviously, all of us worked Friday, so we weren't up there crazy early. We got on campus at 5 o'clock,
Mhm.
a little after 5.
Yeah, a little after 5. It was we probably parked about 5:30, so
Yeah.
probably actually on campus around 6.
Yeah, so where we normally park, just under a mile walk, would you say?
Yeah, less than that for sure.
Normally 20, 30 bucks in our area,
Yeah.
generally speaking. Parking going between anywhere between $60 and $100. I mean, and we got one of the last spots.
Yeah, and well, the spot we normally
Big
would go
park.
to was sold out.
So, yeah.
But yeah, so we got lucky and found an alternate spot that worked
Yeah.
out well.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Worked
yeah.
out well. Ended up being cheaper than where we normally park.
Well, yeah, on that day.
On that day. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there was definitely, and it was packed. Like never before. Like, I've never seen it like that. I mean, we went up a couple years ago, or last year, I guess it was, to that Ohio State game. We didn't end up getting tickets. We tried to, last minute it, and it
Yeah.
was not that packed.
No.
That game, I read that it was expected 170,000 people were on campus yesterday, or on Friday night.
Oh, I can believe it.
And it felt I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
The fans. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
I was saying the fans that didn't get the tickets were either there for game day or there for the experience in general, and they seemed pretty content that they were at least
Part of it.
Yeah, the part of the game itself.
Yeah, and I was reading, and I was like, I wonder if it's going to feel like a bunch of IU people are on campus that couldn't get tickets to this game. But it was like, no. It was a bunch of Notre Dame people that couldn't get tickets as well, that more so than IU people that just want to be there. And yeah, game day, me and Maddie haven't been to game day, but last year we went to the Pat Mack show the day before, and kind of the setup is there's this game day area, and then there's a gated in area for the actual game day crowd, and then everyone around can still watch it and you can still see it. But we're not what we saw. It looked like it was backed up to Touchdown Jesus almost.
Yeah.
Which is just a enormous space.
If you're familiar with Notre Dame's campus,
Yeah.
The reflecting ponds in front of Touchdown Jesus,
Yeah,
and then you go south from there toward the stadium,
yeah,
and they were set up just north of the just across the street, just north of the stadium, and that lawn, and from there to the reflecting ponds and maybe beyond,
yeah,
it was packed with people,
yeah,
and I was just like, wow, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people out here in this crowd.
yeah.
There had to be 30,000. It felt like
Oh my
out
gosh,
there.
in that area. Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't seen any head count, and I was kind of wondering afterwards. We didn't go into the South Dome of the Joyce, but I was wondering if the Joyce was opened up, for a game watch, if people who couldn't get in could go inside the Joyce
Yeah,
and watch
maybe.
the game.
Maybe.
I never saw anything on it. I wasn't looking for that, but
No.
they've done that where they open it up and people can go watch the games. And I'm like, how busy was freaking Joyce with people?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, campus was absolutely packed. It was buzzing. Tailgating was out the wazoo. I saw people after the game setting the grills back up after midnight. And I literally saw this on X. I'll call it Twitter again. But multiple people posting they were tailgating after the post game. And it was
Oh yeah, it was I hadn't seen or felt that kind of buzz on campus
Yeah.
since the early 90s.
Yeah.
I just hadn't. And it was just like injected into my veins excitement.
Yeah, and we were in there an hour and 15 before kickoff.
Yeah.
We weren't the first one. Like, it was a little busy.
But that's what surprised me because we saw all the game day crowd and they're
Yeah.
still there. And
Yeah.
we're like, well, let's go get in so we're not getting in this big, massive rush.
Yeah.
Let's try and beat the crowd. Gates are open.
Yep.
And we walked in. It's like, holy cow.
It's not empty in here.
The gates have been open for 15, 20 minutes at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it wasn't like a bunch of IU fans sitting there soaking it in.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of Notre Dame fans as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And I think that was kind of interesting. I expected from everything you heard a big IU contingent. I mean, we weren't afraid of an IU takeover, but a big IU contingent. And we heard some who cares chants going on as we come up.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fun. There was a lot of chirp back from the Irish faithful when the IU crowd.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
we didn't welcome them at all, but we watched the band walk in, and I've never been so fired up to see the band. And I'd say that's how my game started.
Yeah.
Pretty fired up when the band came in and started
The IU
chanting.
band.
Yeah, the IU band.
Who.
All the way up, and Carter told them that they're not even halfway there. Keep walking.
Yeah, they were doing the ramp, and I was like, that's a bad choice. I mean, they were starting to hoo, and I was like, you guys are going to be winded by this third turn.
They got real quiet up the third turn.
Yeah,
They were winded.
And they were still like looking down, and they like the second one, they're still like, oh, we're going to win, and all this crap. And I was like, you got a long way up there.
You're going to hear the percussion instruments at the start of the game. None of the wind instruments.
Exactly. They were, and this was way more kickoff. We're standing in line to get the game day pin inside the stadium, and it was just like, oh my gosh, you guys have no idea. Like, you guys it's gonna be a while to get up there.
They were chirping.
Yeah.
They fired me up before I even saw the field.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, but that was it. I mean, it was just all part of that environment. I mean, we had guests. We were happy they were there, and we were happy to take advantage of those guests. We were going to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And I came into. I don't think all year I've been as confident going into a game as I came into this game.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I'm not playing. I just everything I saw, everything on social media.
Yeah.
The Irish weren't talking. They were just head down doing work.
Yep.
The IU people just kept chirping. The IU coach kept chirping.
Yep.
And the more I heard, the less I liked that guy.
Yeah.
You'd asked me 6 weeks ago, I thought, yeah, hey, he's got a good record.
Yeah. He's
knows
a
how to
confident
coach.
guy. Yeah.
He may be a good coach, but he's an arrogant jackwagon.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
No kidding.
So,
but yeah, we got to talk about, I mean, we kind of started getting into it, but yeah, I think, what do you think? 30, 35, 40 minutes before kickoff, that stadium's 90% full.
oh yeah, easy.
Like,
Easy.
We're looking at 7:30, and it's like, holy cow. Like,
Normally, stadium fills in about 5 minutes before kickoff, and maybe like 90% before at 5 minutes before kickoff.
yeah,
before
it's
you
that
get there.
same mark, and it was like,
Yeah, it was 30 minutes, and there was,
yeah, it was like, if you literally tried walking in right at 8 o'clock, you probably had to, like, whoop, right on in. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't risking it, but it was like, oh my goodness, like, this place was packed.
Yeah, everybody wanted. It was history, and everybody knew it, and everybody wanted to see it.
Yeah.
And I talk about the Florida State game of '93. I've met 500,000 people that claim they were at that game.
Exactly.
10 years from now, there's going to be 500,000 people claim they were in the stadium.
Yep.
Now, I believe there could have been 500,000 people on campus that felt that way. But,
Yeah.
but I'll bet there was as many people on campus that didn't get to the game as there was that did.
Oh, yeah.
But it was absolutely electric atmosphere, absolutely packed. Now, you and I were in different areas. Like, you and Maddie had pretty good seats from Fringe. You were down in section 24.
24, yep. Kind of in the
row
50. Yep.
So
we're kind of down in the corner that game day was in, that was pretty sweet. Obviously, you can't hear any of it.
southwest corner.
Southwest corner. Yeah, you can't really hear any of it. But, I mean, we had fantastic seats. Shout out Bill and Kelly. Geez, I tried to combine their names for those tickets. I mean, those
a J-Lo
sweet.
thing?
I know,
Are
right?
they that kind of a
Yeah, I
couple?
guess so.
All right.
So those tickets were absolutely sweet. I mean, we were around a lot of Notre Dame people. There was like 2 girls in front of us that had like the Notre Dame sweatshirt on, IU hat.
They asked me to take a picture of them.
We'll get
They had
a leprechaun on one side of the IU. They're like, we take a picture. I was like, if you take off your hat. And she kind of like awkwardly giggled and like thought I was joking. I wasn't really. But luckily, Maddie was nice and was like, sure. But then they tried. Yeah,
Maddie, how dare you?
No.
No, but wait. So
Okay.
they had both of them had Irish on the left cheek, or one of them had it on the left and the other one had it on the right, and then IU vice versa. I was like, well, you both have to switch sides. And she's like, what? I said, so then you can see the Irish symbol on your cheek and not the IU one. And they both looked at each other, and I was like,
And then like
you
held
got
the
to
phone.
switch.
Yeah, and then they did.
So then they switched, and they both, because obviously the way they were standing, they would turn, and that's the cheek that you saw. So I was like, that's fine. That I hate those kind of fans. They were very nice individuals. They were not the ones that I was annoyed with, but they were cheering for every play.
Yeah.
They
Listen.
sang both the fight songs. I'm like, what kind of fan are you? Like, pick a team.
Unless you're AJ Hawk's sister and dating Brady Quinn, you can't pull that off.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have like legitimate ties to both squads.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama Kelsey, that makes sense. You've got sons for both sides.
Exactly. Like there are very few exceptions I will give.
Yeah.
And I doubt those young ladies probably met those criteria.
Yeah.
I'd highly doubt it.
They are probably your traditional, I like IU basketball and Notre Dame football.
But they were more cheering for IU than Notre Dame.
They were, yeah.
Well, they just want to go out a winner.
Well, then
Yeah.
they had a friend with them, and he was only cheering for IU, but was wearing a Notre Dame hat.
Yeah, he had the IU sweatshirt and then Notre Dame hat, so he was.
I was like, so you got cold and you didn't. I was like, you didn't even care enough to flip it inside out.
Like, come on now.
But that's beside the point. Anyway, we had some obnoxious individuals above us, but for the most part, we were surrounded by some good Notre Dame fans.
And a few rows behind us, not right behind us.
Yeah. 4 rows up.
So we were up in the northwest corner, section 136, behind the student section, upper level. We were in row 24 so row 25, row 26. You couldn't be farther north watching football in Indiana than I think Clay High School is actually just north of that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to be farther north of that and watch a football game because you're 6 miles from the state line. I think Clay High School might be like halfway. Yeah. But on that Friday night, that was the farthest north you could be and watch a football game. We originally got to our seats. We all got in the stadium early. We got to our seats a half hour early, which was good. We really hadn't had dinner yet, so there was little concession stands to be had. So that was all good. But there was a guy and a son that sat next to me, IU fans, IU stuff, but not annoying. What I expected from an IU fan, like kind of the good dude, good guy. We had good conversation. He's like, I have been a season ticket holder. He's like, 10 years I've been an IU football season ticket. And I'm like, mad respect to you right here, right now.
How they talk into that?
10 years of IU season tickets. And his son was probably, I'm going to say 16, 17.
Yeah.
So like this kid has grown up with IU football.
Right.
Like, and
poor kid.
Yeah. I mean, he's like,
what a horrible dad.
My dad takes me to IU football games.
Made him an IU fan.
Oh, his dad doesn't want to be happy in life. I guess. I don't know.
It's all the Browns too.
But but they were good people, and he was like, "Hey, I don't think we're going to win this game. I don't, like he's down talking it. He's like, but this is history." And he said, when we hired Signetti, I knew he was a good coach. He said, "Yeah, I was just hoping to be 6-6 and be bold."
Right.
Like that was the IU fan immediately to my left, and I don't know if he was playing it down because he knew it was in hostile territory, or if he genuinely felt that way. But it seemed genuine. It did seem like he was just, trying to gaslight me to be nice.
Oh no, you guys are real good. Yeah.
And then of course, we're amongst a lot of season ticket holders in that area. There's a lot of season ticket holders that have seats in that area. So I mean, it was a really big crowd, and then like people started packing in. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, 10 minutes before kickoff, a group of about 6, they're your peers, they're your age.
Yeah.
6 kids come walking in.
Kelly School of Business kids come walking
I don't even think they were Kelly School of Business. They weren't that smart.
All right.
They weren't med students at IU.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they had studied, but so one kid was from Illinois, one kid was from Cincinnati, the other one's from Indiana. They were all buddies that met in college and went through college together, and it was that experience. And
you really got the backstory on these guys.
Hey, I tried to be hospitable. Like they started getting up there and doing their hoo chants. I turned around and looked at them, and the one guy looks at me and says, "Oh, we're going to chirp all night." I said, "It'll be friendly, but I'll give you every bit as much as you want." And he's like, "All right, I'm going to talk trash to you." I said, "You bring it on, but you better be able to take it. I don't want to see you crying by the halftime, because I'm going to go with it."
Yeah.
And of course, I got a hat on because it's a little cold, and he starts going on about different stuff, and eventually he says, "Well, you're going bald." And I pull my hat off and show him, "I'm not going bald. I still got good hair, thanks to my dad." So, "Well, you got up there working with." I'm not showing you. So, so anyway, they were chirping the whole game, and it was fun, like to have that interaction. They were annoying. They were drunk. They were doing shots of Fireball.
Nice.
You should have sent the usher up there.
I almost did because it was really weird. Like the game had kicked off, and like it was the first 2-minute timeout. Like starting the game, and there was a dad, a son, and probably his father. So like a grandkid,
Yeah,
dad,
3 generations.
like 3 generations, dressed in Notre Dame blue, and they had tickets for the exact same seats the IU kids were in.
Oh,
And I'm just, I'm being me. I'm not being a jerk, but I'm not, I'm Irish pride. And I'm like, okay, guys, let's figure this out. Let's not get in a fight because the one kid's just drunk as all get out. And he's like, sit down, you're in my way. And I'm like, it's a timeout. You're not missing anything, right?
Yeah.
There's 3-minute commercial here. We're still a minute 45 of this to go. So just show me your tickets. I'll show everybody show me your tickets. Let's look at them. So here I am playing police for kids 2 rows behind us. And they all had tickets to the exact same seats.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, someone got scammed.
Or someone fake. Got in but you wouldn't you're not in a section where people are fake making tickets.
Like who's making fake tickets for row 26? I don't know. But anyway, so
you'll see social media videos where people like get into the game and then try to like edit their section on like a photos app, so then they can show you don't have to scan to go down low. You just show the usher.
Yeah, and what I don't know, like what I thought was really weird is I didn't look at everybody's ticket, and I thought the first thing I would see is like maybe they had 2 seats in this section and they were all trying to pack together because like 6 tickets together, hard to come by, and then the 3 together. But like I looked at them and they both had section 136, row 26, seat 24. The 2 seats I looked at were identical. I'm like, well, I don't know. So anyway, we worked it out, and and they were all kind of cool at that point. They were talking trash, annoying, but talking trash, and I'm like, okay, guys, so tell me, like, this was before the game. I'm like, tell me what you guys think IU's going to do to win this game. I'm in all seriousness. How do you expect IU to win this game? Like, what's your plan? You guys aren't that. You guys haven't played anybody this year. You lost to NIU. First thing out of their mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
You lost to NIU. Your pass defense isn't that good. You haven't played anybody. Our quarterback's going to pick you guys apart. I'm like, okay. Let's see how this goes. And our run defense, you guys will not be able to run. And I'm just like, I understand your false confidence.
Yeah.
But I said, I respectfully disagree with you, young man.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to see how good a defense we have on the pass.
Yeah.
I said, and you're going to be stunned how good we are at running the ball. And he's like, no way. We're the best run defense in the country. I said, yeah. Have you looked at the teams you played? I said, no one's like had a big fall off in production when they play IU. I said, it's the exact same run defense.
Yeah.
I said, they're that bad every game they play.
Yeah.
You just were lucky enough to get 9 out of 10 of them stacked together. I said, and he's like, so they're going on.
And also don't run the ball when you're down 30 points.
So they're trash.
They also don't have Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. We got Jeremiah Love. You don't.
So it was pretty good. And they were annoying like a lot of the Notre Dame fans. And I felt like, I had to go a little Superman there, not wearing a cape, but I had to chirp back and keep them in place. Respectful.
Yep.
But let them know that I'm going to let them have it every time they get it. So then the game comes up, right? Now we're getting to the game time because we got this whole ticket fiasco.
Yep.
And they get the ball first.
Yeah.
And, like, it's 3 and out. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, that game really couldn't have started any better. We win the toss, elected to defer the second half. Great. I tell Maddie, like, what do we want? I'm like, whatever we choose, we're pumped for. I don't care what we got. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. We're going to act like we're happy, and that's what we wanted no matter what, right? Like, they get the ball, and it's just like, bang, 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 we're off the field. Like, we get pressure on Rorick. They can't run the ball. I think they lose 3 yards. Like, couldn't have started any better. It's like, all right.
Yeah, the
Irish by a million.
Defense came to play.
Yeah.
They meant business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Notre Dame Stadium was rocking. Like,
The rally towels were awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely like the rally towels.
Yeah.
I heard somebody on Twitter or an X saying that wrist hurt the next day. I said, I didn't know
As
the
it
rally.
should.
The I was like, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so the atmosphere was really good, and they started off strong, and I'm like, okay, let's get the ball, let's go down and score.
Yeah,
let's get this, and the punt wasn't that great.
No,
and so of course, I had to let the IU guys know, I don't want to hear you lost this game because of a punter, like you give the excuse for Ohio State.
Yeah,
and they're just like but at this point we had established there's going to be some chirping going on. So I let them have it. So then. The unthinkable happens.
Well, first play, we lose a yard. Second play, the unthinkable happens, right?
Riley throws a pick.
And it was It was deflected at the line.
It was tipped. It wasn't like it was a bad pass. It was just, it was tipped. And of course, now I'm getting it back.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm like, I signed up for this before the kickoff.
Yeah.
Like, I got it coming.
Yep.
Oh, Riley sucks. He's terrible. This and that and the other. We're going to dominate you. And I'm like, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. And then IU starts to put together a little bit of drive.
Yeah, which they get the ball, the 40, 45?
45, something like that.
Just a little on their side of the field, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as they got the pick, I think the first thing was, that was just a fake punt. That's all that was. We got the ball back now.
Yeah.
So anyway, they start driving a little bit. And I thought this was kind of interesting. I was expecting a lot of the fade out routes and back shoulder throws.
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw hardly any of those.
Mm-mm.
They really felt like the quick slants across the middle was where they could make bread and butter. And that's where they had success early on some of those quick slants.
Yeah.
And so they started marching a little bit until they didn't.
Until they hit the X Factor, huh?
That's right. And then Xavier Watts comes through.
No one else. Who else? Who would it be?
X going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Going to give it to you.
No kidding.
So, So then I was feeling good because I got a chance to turn around and let my buddies know. That's that Notre Dame pass defense.
It's so bad, right?
It's so bad.
Yep.
Right?
So we get the ball at the 2.
So now we got the ball at the 2, and I'm like, okay, we can't give up runs. We can't give up yards. We got to get forward progress. And I'm fully expecting at this point in my mind, we're going to run the ball 3 plays and punt.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh gosh, Randall, please
hit a bomb.
Please hit one of those big bombs.
Yep.
Those 70-yard bombs we hear about, 5-second hang times.
Yep.
Like that's where my head's at.
Yep.
But Mr. Jeremiah Love had other plans.
I mean, flu game J Love. If you didn't see the picture before him in the game, he's got the full ski mask. All you can see is his eyes. And that was maybe in mass or
5:32 was the time clock.
Yeah,
Somebody
exactly.
took it of him.
I mean, he was locked in, and boy, oh boy, was that run
like a thief in the night. He's not.
Oh my gosh, was he electric last night?
So the best part was he takes off and hits that hole, and I mean, we were sitting in the end zone.
So
So I saw this hole open up. I saw the backside block. I knew the moment he was 5 yards down. I knew he was gone.
Yeah.
And he got past the corner, and I'm going to say I didn't even see him score. I honestly didn't even see him score because about the time he got to the 30-yard line, I just turned around, touchdown Jesus style to my boy and said, how's that run defense?
Yeah.
And he just shut up.
Yep.
In fact, after that, he moved from behind me down to the other side of this group of 6. He didn't want to be by me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought we had friendship going here. I thought we were boys. And he didn't want to say another word.
So the sad part
Carter was different.
Yeah.
The sad part from our angle was it was marked at the 1 yard line. PA announcer said 1 yard line. We thought we saw even more Notre Dame history and had the longest rush in Notre Dame history at that time because we were on the opposite end.
Yeah.
So I was like, Josh Adams, 98 yards.
Yes.
I was like, this was J Love, 99. I thought we broke a record against this tough rush defense, all that.
It was like the 1.5 yard line.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they rounded down instead of rounding up. They could have gave him 99, but it was 90.
And once I saw it later, I was like, okay, that was probably on the 2. That's no problem. I just at the time I was like, he literally just broke the Notre Dame Stadium record for the longest touchdown. How awesome is that?
Yeah. So trivia question answer.
Yep.
First touchdown scored in the college football playoff.
Jeremiah Love.
98 yards.
Yeah. I mean, and that Notre Dame State was rocking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The top came off of that play.
Yeah.
It literally came off of that play.
Yeah. And it was for 98 yards. It was all of it was just
and for an amazing player that deserved it.
Oh yeah.
They're all deserving, but
you've heard all this running back about Gentry and what the Skibbit, whatever his name is at Iowa State. They're the 2 best running backs in the playoff, and it's like, oh no.
Those are the 2
most. Yeah, they get the most carries, they get the most this. But the best running back in college football is Jeremiah Love, and you can't convince me otherwise. I've seen Gentry play. I've seen the Iowa State kid play. Great players. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you put Jeremiah Love on prime time and say, dude, you're the only college football game off. The world's watching you tonight. That's what happens.
Carter, didn't you say that in an interview they asked if he was going to kick up speed a little bit?
Yeah. So they basically in the post-game press conference like, Jeremiah Love, those guys are pretty close to catching you. His response was, I was watching the video board. They weren't catching me.
Yeah, he knew.
I mean, he knew.
Yeah. And again, we talk about the other backs.
Hey, what did he do when he went in the goal line? He secured the ball. He secured the ball. He was not dropping it
on the 1.
Yeah,
he was going to take it home.
Yep.
But I'll even argue this. After last night, I think if you were to list the top 5 backs in all of college football this year, 4 of the 5 would definitely be on the Notre Dame roster.
Oh, yeah.
Or two of the five.
I was going to say
Two
4 of the 5. I don't think.
2 of the 5 are on the Notre Dame roster.
Yeah.
I think Price is every bit as good, and he showed that second series. Like,
Yeah.
J. Love got the score, and they let him have the breather because he was tired, he was winded.
He's
like,
recovering from injury. He's recovering from the flu. Like, sounds like the dude barely got any sleep over the last, 5 or 6 days. Like, he's been that sick, and it's just like, and then he just comes out and does that. And
So I knew, at the 5 yards into that run, I knew he was going to score.
Yeah.
Probably 15 yards into that run, I knew we were winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it was just at that point, it was like my confidence was high coming in.
Yeah,
and it was just this game is over.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember that. So IU obviously gets the ball after that. Was it a 3 and out or did
I think they went 5 or 6 plays. They got a first down.
Yeah, but it wasn't much, and then it was just
punt.
Yeah,
and it was a bad punt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was not a very good one. We get the ball back in. This is,
we go to drive.
Statement drive, not just a drive like this. I think you're feeling very confident after J. Love takes it 98 yards to the house. After this drive, you're like, there's not a chance in the world that IU's going to beat us tonight.
16 plays.
9.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just pounding them.
And if you get a chance, go on X, Notre Dame social media, Notre Dame football specifically. There's a 4-minute video.
Yeah.
Just kind of a highlight video of the game. And it talks about the fact that IU's offense was off the field for 45 minutes.
Of real time.
Which
you don't realize that during the game. Like, it feels like a long time, but 45 minutes of being on the sideline.
Yeah. That's just their defense was just getting handed to them.
Oh, my God.
That unstoppable run defense just give up a big run.
Yeah.
And then we just came back and just said, we're going to dink and dunk you with passes, and we're going to give you some price.
Yep.
You didn't like Love. You reject Love, you're going to pay the price.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
all I'm saying.
And that's how it felt.
and a little bit of Williams in there, too.
Yeah.
And Aeneas did his part as well.
Aeneas. I know. I always want to call him Aeneas, too, but that's going to get better. Aeneas.
Yeah. I'll work on Aeneas. Next year when you're handling the rock a little more.
Yep.
2 years from now.
Yeah, there you go.
Guy, you and Young are the guys. I promise. I'll have it down. But yeah, it was just glorious, you know, and the chirping from the IU fans just got a little quieter, a little quieter. And then it got annoying. It just went to annoying at that point. They were just like, oh, you guys suck. Notre Dame's not that good.
Yeah.
This place is dumb. It was just all kinds of trash talk. And it was just like, this game's boring. Nothing's happening. It's like, you're
losing.
You don't know how to win gracefully. You sure in heck don't know how to lose gracefully.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that was good times roll. That was where we're at that point. So,
and that gets us into the second quarter with that drive. We're on the side closer to you now. It took us. Once we got down to the goal line, we definitely I don't want to say stumble a little bit, but I think it was third down before we got in, and on that
But that was that.
It was beautiful, that touchdown pass over.
It was a, dare I say, a little Tim Tebow-ish.
Not jump pass, but almost. Yeah.
It had the hint of that. And I couldn't be happier for anybody. One of my favorite players on the Notre Dame receiving corps has got to be Jaden Thomas.
Yeah.
He's a big mismatched dude.
Yeah.
Not a speedster. He normally played the slot. He's tight end size, but he's a wide receiver.
Yep.
Anytime you see him on the field and there's a play, the dude blocks his butt off. He's not a diva receiver. I hope he makes an NFL roster and just, but love that guy. He's one of my favorite, unsung heroes on this team. And so for him to get that touchdown in that game was just I was excited for him.
Right.
And he was stoked. he got that ball and whoa. Yeah. Give a little flex on it. Yep. So that was good. I'm happy he got it.
Yep.
I'd like to see Price get that score, but I'm happy that
after that drive,
Jaden Thomas got it. Yeah, because Price had it coming, or Price had earned it at that point, I guess. But it was okay that Jaden Thomas got it. I don't think anybody was mad because it was a nice. And Riley looked so much better passing. Best I've seen him pass.
Yeah.
All year on that drive when he had to pass. Bo Collins looked better.
Yeah.
Faison looked better.
Faison dropped one pass. I think it was on the first drive. Maybe it was
the second drive.
Or it couldn't have been on J. Love. Maybe it was on
the third. It was earlier that series.
But after that, the dude was lights out.
Yeah.
He dropped one early, and it was it hit him in the hands, maybe a little behind him, but it was after that.
It was catchable, though.
Yeah, it was he was lights out, and we'll get into him more. But
Yeah. So I mean, that was a great drive, and now you're up 14-0, and it's like game over.
yeah,
And even the IU people were like, "Okay, this isn't good." And they were complaining, but they got the ball back, and they got a field goal finally.
yep,
So good for them. They made a field goal,
yep,
and then we get the ball back, and we finally got a field goal.
yeah. I mean, I've never seen a coach of any level be more excited for a field goal that's not a last second.
A field goal to give you a 14-point lead.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, and it was before the half, yes. But one thing I found interesting though, which, I mean, it didn't make a difference, but we drive down, we call this timeout, and it's 4th down, and there's like 15 seconds up on the clock when we run the 3rd down play. We don't pick up the 1st down. We call the timeout with 11 seconds. It's like, and we knew we're sending the field goal group out there. Why do we not wind that down to 3 seconds or make IU burn I think it was a timeout.
Yeah.
Like, it just bothered me that we did that, and it was like, it's 4th down. We're not leaving extra time on the clock if it's a bad snap, and then...
But go to 3 seconds.
Yeah, go to 4 seconds where we don't have to kick this ball off. Because, I mean, we kick it off and they do a run play, but it's just like, let's not do that. Like, against a team like Georgia, they could, like we did against Purdue, they could break a 75-yard run. Like, we can't be just giving them a free possession when they don't have to have the ball here.
Yeah.
Like, without burning the timeout, right?
Unless they thought there was a trick play that they were considering calling. Or I mean, because it was a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, they were thinking we're going to take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah.
Or try and get a first down here.
Yep.
I don't know what was in the coach's head at that point, but
Yeah.
I'm with you. If you committed yourself to the field goal and you're up 14-3,
Yep.
go for the field goal. And I would say run that thing down to 3 seconds, take your time out.
Yeah.
And because again, if it was a bad snap, you didn't have another down to go.
No. Now to just end of the half.
Just end the half, right? So yeah, but it was good.
I mean, it was an awesome field goal. Freeman was fired up. He was fired up. Yeah, I was.
Which the video was cute because, not cute. Sorry, awesome because he came out and he said that he was back, and Coach Freeman was like, "Yes, you are." He was all excited for him. Poor guy had a rough season, but he needed that confidence, especially going into the games for playoffs.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing we've talked about on our pod many times. The kicker is so mental, like. Physically, those guys can do that all day long, but it's the mental side. And Mitch with the injury and everything else, it was good to see him, just do it. And
and everyone was fired up for him. It wasn't like, you've seen this sometimes where a team that's not like, a kicker's been struggling, and they make a kick, and they're fired up, and everyone else around them's like, dude, who cares?
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone around him was just like,
you'd have thought he won the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
He was
last second.
He was fired up.
Yeah.
Clearly what tells me was he was telling everybody he was confident, he was fine.
Yeah.
But there was still a little bit of that yips at him, a little bit of that doubt. When he hit it was like, okay,
oh, thank God. Yeah.
This was silly. I'm fine.
Yep.
And so that was big. And that kick wasn't that big of a kick in regards to Notre Dame beating IU. But that kick could be very big
in the
next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, not having confidence in our kicking game going into Georgia would make me very nervous.
Yeah.
But having a confident kicker makes me feel just a little bit better.
Right.
To be honest. So yeah, I mean, halftime we got well, I didn't see the show from the IU band. I went down and Kate and I had to secure something to eat because he was hungry.
Yep.
And we hit the June Buggies taco stand.
No, man.
And he got the steak tacos.
Pretty solid.
I got 4 of them.
Wow.
So because there was a deal, so if I bought 4, it was a better deal, and I thought, I'll eat one.
Yeah.
It was a really good taco.
Yeah.
I had a steak taco, and Caden had 3.
Nice.
Actually, he had 2.5, and they were stuffed with freaking meat. He's like, I'm full, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I think it was cold, but he said full. I don't know. But so I actually had 1.5 tacos.
Yeah. But yeah, IU band played, Notre Dame band played. It was, I mean, Notre Dame band won the battle of the band. We'll tell you that. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
That's all that needs to be said about halftime.
Well, halftime, I was waiting for Peter to come back out, but he didn't make his way out. I think they were on their way.
Dog for people that don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a big fan of Peter. Rest in peace, Ben. Peter got to see snow in South Bend. He was at the college football pregame. Is that what it's called?
Game day.
College game day. Thank you. And then he got to go on the field, which social media-wise, Notre Dame gave Peter a bunch of Notre Dame dog toys, really made him feel like home. So props to Notre Dame for doing that because I think Peter's awesome.
And he had the press pass hanging around his neck. I thought
So cute.
I thought that was a nice touch.
It was awesome.
Especially when you compare that to some of these SEC championship game, like Bevo wasn't allowed to be there, no live mascots, and it's like, Kurt, bring the dog. Cashmore Mike was like a Notre Dame mascot back in the day. Like, we had a dog for a mascot for a short period. So old school Maddie. Yeah.
What kind of dog was it?
Oh man.
I could have told you. Curly. I can see the picture of him. Curly dog. He kind of looked like a Labradoodle, but he's not a Labradoodle. It was long before that. The breed name escapes me. Good question though, Maddie.
Is that the All-State Trivia question?
There you go. Anybody, if you listen this far, please let us know.
I can tell you the dog's name was Cashmore Mike, but I can't tell you the breed of the dog. But yeah, he was like an unofficial mascot for a hot minute for a few years back in like the early. Might have been prior to us being the Fighting Irish, actually.
Oh, man.
Because the Fighting Irish moniker came around in, I think, the 20s, 1910s, 20s time period when the Detroit Free Press was trying to discourage us. And that's back when being Irish wasn't cool. Like, it was derogatory. Yeah. And, people hated Irish people, and they were referred to us as a bunch of drunken Fighting Irish. Probably not too far from the truth in some cases. But, yeah, so we were like, fine, you want to call us the Fighting Irish? We'll call ourselves the Fighting Irish. We know how to play that game. Yep. We're going to put it on our shirts. We like that. So anyway, yeah, Cashmore Mike was way back when. But anyway, so yeah, it's a dog-friendly school. I like that. I thought it was cool.
Yep. So, not to get in the second half. He's talking about we defer.
Yes.
We get the ball start the half. And that's when the Jordan Faison show really kicks off. Like, we had some action in the first half, but that's when the Jordan Faison show kicks off. Jaden Harrison takes the kick. Doesn't fair catch it like all the IU kids, right, Maddie? I mean, how annoying was that? Fair catch, fair catch, fair catch. We said...
It got pretty boring. Try to run.
Not here. Harrison pitches it to Faison. IU guy reads it. Faison makes a miss, though. Yeah. I mean, how sweet was that?
You left your ankles back, your young man.
Yeah, it was like Notre Dame was rocking again. I mean, not that it really died off, but if there was any doubt, it was rocking again.
Yeah, the buzz just continued. The hype just continued.
Takes the midfield, basically. It was like, now what made me so mad, though, what we do right after, delay a game.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you take a delay a game of, you're going to do this trick play at a halftime, and you take a delay a game on the first play?
We thought we were going to score on that trick play, I guess. Like, we weren't prepared to run.
Faison was close, but it was just like, Denbrock didn't have a play ready? Like, what we got?
Did he look at it and say, oh, we're scoring, I don't need to worry about it?
Got it, yeah. Special teams, Faison.
Defense, get prepared.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe he was getting some June Buggy hot dogs and he get back in time. I don't know. The line was pretty long.
Yeah.
So...
I figured he had a runner, though. But, yeah, I mean, that was the only frustrating part of me out of that. And I think we didn't get the first down, and we punt.
Yeah, that was a disappointing start to the second. After the great punt or opening kick return, like, not to have a drive and go up 3 scores.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm sure we're getting this for our Georgia preview. I fully expect a fake on that one later, though. Maybe not against Georgia, maybe in another game. But I fully expect to see a fake pitch and then keep it going.
See if everybody goes with it, kind of an RPO type thing.
Yeah.
Get you faking with Faison, and I'm going to keep going. Yeah. Because I would let Jaden run that ball.
Yep.
I have no problem with him running that ball
exactly.
back. And Faison is a good guy to run that ball, too. So it works. But, yeah, so, I mean, the game did kind of just stall at that point.
Yeah.
It got a little stagnant, and our IU friends behind us were just complaining about how stagnant it was and this and that and the other. And it's like, I'm okay with this. Like, because I felt a little bit like maybe we were shutting it down, not getting as exotic, and like, we were doing well, but we weren't trying to like dominate. We were just trying to like, okay, we're going to protect this lead and go. And I think kudos to the IU defense, because I think they played better the second half.
Yeah.
And they played better after halftime adjustment, not well enough to win, but they played better.
Yep.
And I think IU's offense tried to make some adjustments, and it didn't work.
No.
That whole slant pass they had early was gone. That didn't work for them anymore. There was no back shoulder fades. Like, there was just like, and we were getting, we didn't get a lot of pressure early, but we got enough. And then the second half, I felt like we got more pressure defensively.
Yep.
We didn't go as exotic on the schemes, but we just said guys are going to try. We got guys getting home.
Yep.
And we did. I think if you look at I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at game tape, or somebody else will probably do it. I won't.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious to know, like, if we went pretty base defense in that second half and just said we're going to run our base D.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, we got a lot of pressure in that second half, but Riley Mills going down
Didn't help.
did not help. Freeman says it's not season ending. Hopefully he's back for Georgia because that's a dude we need for Georgia.
Need him for Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that one's like, oh, I hope he's. I mean, we'll find out Monday press conference. I'm assuming he'll be on the Monday press conference this week.
I would think so. Yeah.
I'd assume. Yeah, it's hard to say with these different schedules. Obviously, like everything's thrown off.
It's
We don't play on a
Christmas
Saturday.
Eve.
Yeah,
Do it there. Get it done. Get it taken care of.
yeah, exactly.
you know.
So it's just like I think we'll find out Monday, but I really don't know.
I would assume we're going to have players getting a chance to either have family in or go home for Christmas. You know,
Yep.
get that 24-hour pass to fly out Christmas Eve, get home, spend Christmas Day with the family, get back that night, kind of a thing. At least I
Yep.
hope so. Especially in the NIL era,
Yeah.
where like the school can buy them tickets, I think, and it's like, okay, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Or NIL can get them tickets. It's allowed. Because I know that's
Yeah.
usually part of it is like, even if they were given the 24, 48-hour pass,
Yeah,
you know, kids couldn't afford the tickets.
Yeah.
Now I think it's okay, we can make this work.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Freeman's a family guy. I
Yep.
think he'll make that work for those kids.
Yep.
One way or another. So yeah, I would expect a Monday press conference. But anyway, back to the game. I guess we're on a tangent there.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely
stagnant,
stagnant. Yeah.
but then we picked up.
Yep.
You know, and we had a good drive.
Uh-huh.
And Riley went full. Riley touchdown vulture mode at the end of that drive.
Did we get a field goal first on that one?
Oh, we did get another field goal.
We got a field goal, make
field
it 20-3.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that puts it back to a 3-score game.
And it was the fourth quarter before. Yeah, it was third quarter we got the field goal, and then we got the touchdown in the fourth quarter.
But I mean, just IU's offense was doing nothing at this point. It was kind of like our defense was like, we're here, you're not. Like,
yeah,
we're them, you're not. And it was very evident.
So yeah, it got stagnant in the third quarter. We got a field goal, and I gotta go on a side tangent here about Christy. So Caden, I bought Christy and Caden heated socks. Caden refused to put them on. Didn't want to wear them. Okay, cool, whatever. Caden decided his feet were cold. So Christy's like, I'll take him to the bathroom. And of course, I had the heated socks in my pocket because I knew. So she took him to the bathroom for him to put the heated socks on. So as he's going to the bathroom to warm up and try and get these heated socks on, she sits on a bench. And I guess some drunken fan comes up and hits on her. So I'm like, we have now gone 180 degrees from Texas A&M. The blaring heat and some chick making an advance at me to now we're in the freezing cold and some guy making a pass at you. So now I can just hold that over her head the rest of the season.
There you go.
That's the last thing that happened.
There you go.
I said, I'm not offended. I know I got a hot wife.
Yep, there you go.
I'm just glad he appreciates it. So anyway, that was probably the most exciting thing in the third quarter that happened, except the annoying IU guys. And then that was just the annoying IU guys.
Yep.
And that was just like, oh, I was getting tired of them. So then we get to the fourth quarter. And now there's like, this game sucks, nothing's happening. And then we start hearing, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
I'm ready to leave. You know, so like of the six, two of these guys are talking, I'm ready to leave. And of course, everybody around me is like, please leave.
Yeah.
But
Well, the little ants started making their way down to the tunnels, so they were leaving.
Yeah, they were
done.
They were starting to leave, and then
We got chance of singing the goodbye song.
I think after
it got
that
fun.
Riley Leonard touchdown, though, I saw a lot more of them leaving.
the exodus occurred.
Yeah.
That's what broke their back when Riley
Yep.
Leonard scored. So like we were on that drive and they just started, hurt him. Like they were just starting to cheer, like twist his ankle, hurt him. Riley Leonard sucks. He can't pass.
Yeah.
And actually before that they were just talking trash. And this is how bad it got. So Christy is a former IU fan. IU basketball specifically.
Student. She went there for.
She went to
a
IU
little bit, yeah.
and she loved Bobby Knight. And like she's held on to this love for IU basketball and Bobby Knight forever. And then when they fired Bobby Knight, it was fractured. But these guys are talking, Notre Dame, you guys haven't won anything in 30 years. And she turns around and says, when's the last time IU basketball's won anything? If you're such a great like when I saw my wife, one, like
annoyed enough
to start trash talking, and two, trash talking guys about IU basketball. I'm like, young men, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it. And now I'm going to have to fight you if it comes to it. 'Cause now my wife's involved. I didn't want to throw you over the top of the but I will.
Jeez.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
That
I
was
wouldn't have thrown anybody over the top.
That was a little far.
I'm not that strong.
That was a
But
little
I'd have
far.
thought about it. So anyway, that was kind of interesting. It's like, okay, now you've gone to the point where your drunken stupidness has annoyed my wife. So now we're not having a good time. And of course, Christy held her own. She put them in their place because she's capable. It's not, she didn't need me to defend her, but I was like, okay, this is good. So then they're doing all this trash talk about Riley and her team and everything else. And I said, and this was right before he scored. I just turned around and said, you know what you guys should do? You should Google him. He wins. And they were just dead silent. Not a word, and like the fans around us just cheered when I said that, like, yeah! So, and then he scored like 2 plays later, and those guys just walked out. We never heard from him again.
Never will.
They'll probably never watch another IU football game again. Their hearts have been broken. Their hopes were up, and they were dashed.
No kidding.
And if there's anything good I can say about the 14 points that IU scored in trash time,
Those guys.
is those jerks weren't there to see it.
No
like,
kidding.
I'm glad you missed the only thing your team did all day.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked out really well, and I think the atmosphere was still electric at the end of that game. Like,
Oh, yeah, it was still loud. And I mean, props to the IU kicker. If anyone had a game in their life, I mean, both those onside kicks were just.
oh yeah, I don't know if the
perfection.
punter is the same guy that does the onside kicks,
Oh, I don't think so. I
but
think it was
the punter shanked a lot,
Yeah.
but the
Onside
kickoff
kick.
guy,
Oh, my goodness. I mean, both those onside kicks were like that first one they got was like, that was perfect. And the second one, just
Pretty
about.
close.
Just about.
yeah, I mean it was.
But we got the 2-point stops. It was a 10-point game. They couldn't like come down and tie it, which it was just like, oh my gosh, would I have rather that game finish 27-3? Yes. I mean,
But the IU defense, before Riley scored, they looked dead.
oh yeah, they were quitting.
They
I
were
mean,
done.
After that, we didn't even talk about the bullet to Faison down to the 1.
Mhm.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry. How did I not cover that?
I mean, and then he had one. I'm trying to think who it was where he put it between 2 guys. I don't think it was Jaden Thomas
Was
again. but-
Collins, wasn't it?
Was it Bo Collins
think
where he
so.
just ripped, like Riley just ripped a ball right between
Beautiful.
2 defenders? It was like, oh my goodness.
That ball to Faison though, like
Yeah.
that whole play where
I mean-
he's back.
Yep.
And like the pressure comes, and it was NFL. It was
Yeah.
an NFL play. He steps up in the pocket. I thought he was taking the short route to
Yep.
Evans, and he launches it over the top. And then
Yeah.
I realize as he throws it, I see like Faison coming. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my god! And
Yeah.
I thought Faison scored.
Yeah.
I don't like how did even on the TV jumbotron where they reshowed it. I'm like, are you sure he didn't get across the goal line?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
Thinks
he
that
did,
wasn't
but
a touchdown, but oh my goodness. I mean, that one was just like, wow.
if
And
we can get that Riley the rest of this year,
yeah.
look out.
Yeah. And it was just like, you could see, I was pointing out to Maddie, like, there's 2 IU dudes. It's a shame that refs didn't get that ball spot because you had 2 guys that were walking back. The D lineman just like, oh my god.
They were hoping the buses were on and warm. They were done.
They were done. They were literally walking back. If you could see the all 11 shot of that, like no,
Urgency.
nope, that was
nothing.
it. Like they were walking back. Luckily, we weren't able to snap the ball fast because the refs were. But it was just like those dudes were.
Those
done.
refs looked like they were in the way for most of the game, which was kind of ridiculous on my part. When there's stagnant time, I tend to watch the refs because I can find them humorous. But I was like, why are you just standing in the middle? Like, I don't know if they were cold and they were wanting to huddle with the guys, but at times I thought that they were also
Oh, you big
stagnant.
big linemen are sweaty and giving off heat. Let me stand close to you. Like
That's what it seemed like.
penguins, right? They huddle for warmth.
Yeah, I was like, get going, get moving.
Yeah, but hey, they were better than ACC refs.
Big 12 refs.
Or-
Yeah.
they were better than ACC refs.
Yep.
Again, I'm with you, man. That was one of the things I noticed. They seemed to like hold up play a little bit
Yep.
before the snap, and I'm like, I'm not sure what they were thinking here. It seemed a little
It was for
unusual.
subbing, but it seemed too long for subbing, and it was just like
Yeah, it just seemed a little unusual.
With
It
some
wasn't-
random comments while the mic was on.
yeah, and then like
He's like, the ball's being placed
Here.
here. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, great.
sweet
over there.
I'm like, awesome.
on the hash mark.
I was like, turn your mic off.
Yeah.
He was having his DJ Cool moment. He
Yeah.
he wanted to get all of it. So, but yeah. So I mean, I thought that was like great Riley pass. 2 good passes on that
Yep.
drive, and that face on pass was just that was a chef's kiss. Right?
Oh, yeah.
that was beautiful. And so yeah, then he runs that, and he walks it in basically.
Yeah, untouched.
On the
Yeah.
RPO, he just walks it in, and I think that showed a little bit of the IU like defense had just
Oh yeah.
had given up.
Yeah.
And our defense is, gone down, like we shifted it down a gear. We kind of, I think when IU was down 17 and did the punt in the fourth quarter, like,
It's on like the 45.
yeah, they weren't even like they weren't backed up. I was like,
yeah.
why are you punting there?
Yeah.
I think that I really expected at that point, like IU just was going to give up and just
Yeah.
let's just do whatever we're going to do to get this clock out to 0 and get on the buses and go home.
Yep.
And that's what surprised me, that they actually made a drive.
The offense finally.
The offense finally did something. Now, they did something because our defense was playing
base,
and I think we're playing a lot of the second and third string guys.
I wouldn't say second, third string, but it was definitely a lot of prevent, a lot of base. You hear Golden after the game say, we didn't want to show anything else on film to Georgia.
Yeah, they didn't need to.
Yep, 27-3. Like, they knew that game was in hand. And then, I mean, I think he was frustrated they got drove down on, but he was like, once we had to make like play on that 2-point conversion, we did.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like,
yeah, because I think he probably felt like everybody, I think, felt like IU just had shut down and gave up at that point.
Yeah.
They were daunted at that point, and they weren't coming to play. And so I think they surprised us. They actually did something to make a play. And it was probably not intended. It probably just accidentally happened. They made a play.
Yeah.
And then they got motivation off that. They got a little bit of momentum and they ran with it.
Yeah. But I mean, it is annoying because now they're like, we're the smallest loss in college football playoff in this first round, and we were getting hate. And it was like, yeah, it was a 10-point game, but you all left before you scored those 14 points or whatever. Yeah, 14 points. So.
But NIU beat us and you didn't.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So, yeah, how bad are you?
Yeah.
You can't even beat the team that NIU beat. That's all I'm saying.
But, so, I mean, yeah, the last 2 minutes, the last 5 minutes were just the longest of all time, just dragging out. It's like, we didn't end up leaving this. I mean, it took the game 30 more minutes. It's like, we could just got one of that onside kicker, just made a stop. That game's over 30 minutes sooner. And it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
But, would have been nice, but at the same time, I enjoyed all of my time inside the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I was, you get to a point where you're only so cold, and and then you don't get any colder. And, so I don't know if you guys ever got any colder at this point. I never turned my heated vest on.
Yeah, mine was not either.
I didn't need it. I know like Christy had the socks going. She was happy.
Yeah.
Caden wouldn't put the socks on. He said his shoes wouldn't fit over him. So he was like, my feet are cold. My feet are cold. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Put the socks on or don't.
No.
So anyway, he suffered through, and he was unhappy till we got to the car, and he was a little happier. But yeah, so we went to get a hot dog like in the fourth quarter. He's like, I'm still hungry. I want a hot dog. I'm like, all right, let's go get a hot dog during one of the
many TV
timeouts. Like, and I thought this was actually poetic justice, because we went to get a hot dog. Actually, he had to go to the bathroom, so we went to the bathroom. He warmed up for a few minutes, then we went to get a hot dog. And the line to get to concessions, there was like packets of ketchup and mustard. So he grabbed some ketchup and mustard before we got to the hot dog line. Then we spent about 2 minutes in the hot dog line. We didn't even through, and they're like, we're out of hot dogs. And this is like 2 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? We start off the season, you get a hot dog, there's no ketchup out, like before the first game. And then we get to the last game, he can't get a hot dog, but there's all the ketchup and mustard you could want. So they got a little bit of timing off in logistics. So I thought in a lot of ways this game was exact opposite of our start at start of the season to the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Our home opener against IU, we didn't play well. Things didn't go well. It was hot.
Yeah. And IU was not hot, but it was like 60, but 70.
The home finisher was like freezing cold. I guess the heat would have been the
Miami,
Ohio game or the A&M game. But the home finisher was like, we played great both sides of the ball. All three phases played well. Like it was everything you wanted. It, and the atmosphere was electric. Everybody was in all in on the Irish. Great mood. It was there. I mean, I thought it was the best atmosphere, like I said, in probably 30 years.
Yeah.
I can't say that. Like, we saw some good atmospheres.
Yeah.
Like, I think Stanford in 2012. I think Clemson in 21.
Yeah.
Like, we saw some good atmospheres, but it was like, it was a different atmosphere.
From the second you stepped on campus to the second you left campus, was the best atmosphere we've ever had.
Yeah, we came in from campus, not our usual route. We came in on the southeast side, right by Compton. But yeah, it was buzzing. We didn't even walk through Eddie Commons, which normally I bet Eddie Commons was buzzing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way we came in, it was like it was hot.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what else we got to cover? Anything else on the game side, experience side?
I mean, I think
any other fan stories, Maddie, you got?
No, but I did want to say one thing. I am big on social media for all of the Notre Dame things. Not only did we not have the player walk, but we made our own player walk, and Coach looked locked in. But I know at the beginning of the season I had a lot of not Sam Hartman, sorry, Riley Leonard hate.
Mhm.
But with his confidence that he has built, and then I saw a video of him right after he scored his touchdown, and he said, "Hey, I needed one more in Notre Dame Stadium." That kind of hit home for me. So
Yeah.
I will be rooting for Riley for the rest of the season. He's not as bad as I once thought he was.
Well, he was. He
No,
was
he
that
was.
bad.
Yeah, he
Maddie.
was, yeah.
Posting
I
on
meant
you, he was
now.
that bad.
I meant now. He's not as bad as I thought he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, big
And-
things for Riley.
Did you see his post-game press conference, like
With Jeremiah.
with the media
Yeah.
and the Jeremiah Love T-shirt?
No, I did not. That's
Oh,
awesome.
Yes, it was.
Repping his merch. Yeah.
Yeah. So the indie video we talked about on X, we were like the 4-minute video. He does say to like Aeneas, he's
Aeneas.
like, Aeneas. Gosh,
Poor guy.
Aeneas. He says to him, "Sorry,"
Yeah.
like he recognized he kept
Yeah.
him from getting one. But yeah, then when
He's
he
like,
comes
let's
out,
do open. Yeah.
yeah, when
Well, he
comes-
said you have a couple more years.
yeah. But when he comes out in the post-game press conference and he's wearing like the Jeremiah Love T-shirt, it's like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I know Jeremiah
And that
Love.
touchdown broke the all-time Notre Dame quarterback single season rushing record. He
Jeez.
Yeah.
broke Brandon Wimbush's record for touchdowns in a season. So
Yeah. And I saw him and Wimbush going back and forth on the X a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
hey, good job. Records are made to be broken, that
Yep.
kind of thing. So I think that's kind of the coolest thing that Marcus Freeman has done. Like, Marcus Freeman has gotten more and more former players hyped and engaged on this team than I've ever seen.
yeah,
And maybe
Yeah.
it's because social media is more
prevalent. Than
prevalent than it's ever been. But I feel like we've just got, over the last 2 years since Freeman's been there, we've got more of those guys engaged. I know Freeman does a lot to bring those guys back.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people that were, one Freeman fired after NIU, and then they're worried he's going to go to, Ohio State. And
or the Bears. Or
I'm glad we did the contract extension, but I just can't imagine Marcus Freeman ever leaving Notre Dame.
Yep.
Like I just can't imagine him. Like he's gonna coach till he's done coaching. He's gonna retire, and hopefully we're gonna have 3 or 4 national championships,
and we'll be at a statue reveal.
and we'll be a
right?
statue
That would
reveal
be
shortly
awesome.
thereafter.
We'll be at the statue reveal.
Yeah, I mean he's at this point all he's got to do is coach for about 6 or 7 more years and win a couple of natties. And I don't know which gate is going to be the Marcus Freeman gate, but there needs to be a Marcus Freeman
Yep.
gate, and he needs a statue out front.
Yep.
Like, okay, he's got to win a national though. He's got to win a title.
Yep. You gotta have a
So,
title.
boys, do your jobs, as Manti Te'o told you. Write history.
Yep.
Right. Get that championship for Coach Free. Because I look at this team and I look at who's coming back next year. I don't even want to think about it right now.
Yep.
But I am so stoked. And now we got to look one game at a time. We got to look at Georgia.
Yep.
And that is not going to be an easy task.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
I've been,
toughest game of the year.
I've been saying for 2 months that Georgia's the one team that concerns me in the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, I still feel that way. As confident as I
You mean
was,
in our bracket?
No, he's saying
period.
he says no matter what, Georgia's the team that that's the
I'm
toughest.
scared of Oregon.
I mean, Oregon's a very good team.
Oregon's a good team, but they don't scare me nearly as much as Georgia.
Yep.
I think teams I think Oregon will be a challenge for sure. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, we cakewalk Oregon.
Yep.
But I think, Oregon's built on team speed.
Yep.
And I think Notre Dame matches up very well team speed wise.
And we can go on a 9-minute drive and keep their offense off the field.
So then what does Georgia have that hurts us?
Their D
Big,
line,
Big,
yeah,
strong D. Like
Yep.
their D line, like they
be the
will be the
best
best defensive line we see.
it'll be a game you don't love watching, Matt. It's going to be a physical football game. It's going to be a lot of runs. It's going to be.
That's not my kind of
That's
game.
not your kind of
It is
game.
not going to be basketball on grass.
No,
That's
it's
what I love.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a low scoring game. It's gonna be a late 8:45 Eastern kick. You're gonna be hopefully get a nap in. Otherwise, you might be falling asleep.
Is it 8:45 Eastern or 8:45 Central?
8:45 Eastern
Eastern.
kick,
Yeah. So
which will probably be 9 o'clock realistically.
yeah, and it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a battle.
Yep.
And I'm so excited that, and I keep going back to the Sugar Bowl, and like the last time I think I seen us play in the Sugar Bowl, we played LSU and Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
And we got our butt handed to us.
Yeah. I was thinking of. I think that's Fiesta Bowl. We played Ohio State with Brady Quinn, or was it Sugar Bowl? I think it was Ohio State.
I think
Or
we
I think
played
it was
Ohio
Fiesta.
State in a Fiesta,
Yeah.
and we got beat, and I think we got
Because then, yeah,
Jamarcus Russell in a Sugar Bowl. Like, yeah, so this to me is the game we've got to win. Like,
Yeah.
This is like the game I'm looking for. I would need to win a New Year's Day bowl game.
Yep.
And I need to beat an SEC blue blood.
Yep.
And someone who's been on top of the mountain recently is Georgia. I need a Georgia win.
Yep.
I need to see us beat Georgia. I want to see us beat Georgia. We've never beat Georgia, to my knowledge,
No.
ever.
Yeah.
So now
I mean, this just seems like a revenge story, right? We almost beat them at home in the takeover, 20-19, right?
Yep.
I mean, we were close. Close doesn't count, though, right?
Hey,
Doesn't count unless you're playing horseshoes or hand grenades.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I mean that's too easy right there. So I mean, this is a game where it's like, let's start this. I mean, we're gonna play Georgia, either Boise or Penn State, and like we said, Oregon's a very good football team, but it's hard to be a good team twice. I won't be surprised if we see Ohio State come out the other side. How awesome would it be
if
to
we
get Georgia?
can beat Georgia, we should be able to beat the winner of Penn State, Boise State.
Yep.
And then we've got Ohio State and match up in the national championship. That's a real strong possibility.
Yeah. And it's like, how sweet would that be to get some revenge on at least the last few years?
Again, in my lifetime, I've never seen us beat Ohio State. So if I'm writing the script, I want to knock off Georgia.
Yep.
I would love to shut up Penn State because there's some history with Penn State. I'd love to shut those guys up.
Yep.
And I think Penn State game could go. I'd feel really confident against us against Penn State.
Yeah.
Especially neutral site.
Yeah.
Down in Miami. Like I would like us there. And then Ohio State. I'd love to get that monkey off the back and beat Ohio State for the first time in forever.
Yep.
At the national championship game down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Eating red velvet bunk cake at halftime and God's chicken. I mean that's like what I would want to do. So I forgot to mention this because this was a state championship, and this was one of the many taunts I got with the IU guys. So as they're talking all their trash, and this just hit me during the game. I turned around to the one guy and said, "You ever seen the state flag?" He looked at me and said, "It's blue and gold."
It's not red and white, is it?
It's not red and white. It's blue and gold.
Yeah.
So he just like So I won the trash talking battle. The team won on the field.
Yeah.
All was good.
Yep.
And right now there's probably 6 kids sitting around, sobered up.
Probably can't remember the game.
Can't remember the game. Can't remember the trash talk, except they probably have some annoying Notre Dame. Some old fat dude in front of us at Notre Dame just annoying the crap out of us. That's probably all they've got. And I'm okay that's the memory they're going to have. Their one and only time at Notre Dame.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, I mean, we got 8 teams left in this college football playoff. We're one of them.
That's right.
Can't ask to be in a better spot right now, right?
No.
I mean, we got a New Year's Day Sugar Bowl to get ready for.
That's right. Team has got to get ready for Sugar Bowl game.
We got to get ready for the Sugar Bowl game.
I got to get ready for Sugar Bowl game.
Yep.
I just got to get through the next few days. There's this Christmas holidays coming up.
Yep.
We got to enjoy that, celebrate the birth of Christ.
Yep.
I'm all ready.
Yep.
Then a little bit of welcome in the new year.
Yep.
And then let's play some 2025 football.
Yep.
Day one. I love it.
Exactly. Let's do it. I mean, just can't wait for that one. I mean, it's here, people. Like, this is what we've been waiting for so long. It's go time. Right?
Yeah.
Coach Freeman, year 3, 3 games left.
3 is the magic number.
Let's do it. All right. Got anything else, Matt?
A little Merry Christmas to the listeners.
There you go.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Irish 365 podcast.
You can find us wherever you get your podcast.
We are on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Just search for Irish 365 Pod.
And you can always reach us at our email, irish365pod@gmail.com.
Good night.
And God bless.